Hello, what's going on, YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys a deck profile. And no, it is not of this deck, as some of you may want or may have expected, but it is in fact prank kids. Prank kids are the topic for today. Now, I had made a poll on the YouTube community tab about a week ago. You know, asking, what should I do? Should I do prank kids? Nepthys Cosmos, or a zombie variant, and a lot of you guys voted on prank kids, and I did say that there will be a deck profile after we got the Rockies, and so so this has nothing to do with YCS Milan. In fact, this is the deck profile that I had already had set up before Milan even started. So I liked this deck for multiple reasons. I mean, I like it even more now because Firewall is gone, so it gives, this is like a semi-combo deck, so it gives me some options to still be able to span the board relatively easily and not have to worry about Firewall just doing it for me and all that. But one thing I really love about this deck is that it doesn't lose to hand traps. Any deck that doesn't lose to hand traps, I will always take a look at, period, because hand traps are just too prevalent in this game, and we want to be able to do the best we can, and we want to have the best odds against hand traps because hand traps just aren't fun. So with that being said, sorry about that, guys, but again, it doesn't lose to Droll and Lockbeard. That's a big one. The fact that this deck does not lose to Droll is the biggest reason why I like this deck. Any deck that doesn't lose to Droll I like, because that card honestly needs to get banned. Just flood getting your opponent out of the game turn 0 is way too busted, and that is exactly why Maxi is banned, for that very reason, because you are flooding your opponent out of the game turn 0, and that's just not fun. Not being able to access your deck and just pass turn and your opponent just OTK the shit out of you. But anyway, it doesn't lose to Droll, it doesn't lose to Ash because of all the chain blocking the deck has available. Ghost Ogre is like same thing, chain block, because of the field spell. Ghost Bell is probably the strongest hand trap against this deck because your power cards are your Fusion that revives 2 from the grave, and your Link that grabs 2 from grave to hand. So, and even then, so depending on the situation, it can actually be okay. So with that being said, enough of the talk. Let's go ahead and get started with this profile, shall we? So it's just standard. We all know that when you're playing prank kids, you want to max out on every last one of them, and that's precisely what we've done. Rockies, oh my god, I freaking love Rockies so much. It gets all the bricks out of your hand and just gets you into hand traps to get you advantages like your thunder pieces. I don't know if I should call this thunder pranks. Maybe I'll call it thunder pranks, maybe not, because I have a very, because of Rockies, it enables me to play a very small condensed package. Now, I wouldn't play just a dedicated Thunder Dragon core in this deck. That's where it starts to get bad. But anyway, that's enough of the monsters. You want to max out on them, because if you don't have the monsters, if you don't have enough of them, you're not going to do anything. So, spells, it gives you 15 more copies, or 15 total copies of Prank Kids monsters. And then you got your Fusion spell, which is your main disruptor on the opponent's turn. And you got your pranks, because we play it in multiples, because you kind of want to see this. If you don't open any of your fusion, if you don't have access to fusion summoning, you need to be able to link summon. Pranks is a really good one, and it also recycles a lot of your stuff during the end phase. And it's one of those cards where it's like, it's okay. You want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. Hold on, there's a driver. Alright, bad guys, but bottom line, pranks, it's you want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. If you see it, it's good. That means you don't have to search it with your rooster. If you don't have access to a fusion spell, you may just see it, and it can still enable you to make plays. So, yeah, enough of that. Onto the trap. We only got 2 plans. We don't really need 3. I feel like there's an inherent problem with your deck if you find yourself actually needing the 3rd one, and you don't want to open it. I mean, yeah, it gives you, like, let's say another target for pranks, but I'd rather just have a second Pranks, because if that prank gets hit with, let's say, a Ghost Ogre, then I want to be able to have another copy. So yeah, with that being said, on to the good spells. Let's go ahead and do Poly and Hour. Hold on. Okay, back guys. I swear, it's been 5 minutes already and we've been interrupted like 4 times. But anyway, again, this was before Milan, so you're still seeing King of the Swamp. Even then, so it's not even that, it's literally just more copies of this. And it's not bad in the slightest, simply for the fact that, again, this deck doesn't lose the draw. So even if you discard this and add Poly, and let's say you're trying to get access to your, like, Pandemonium or something, and they draw you, you can just send it with your Fansies and then grab it back with your Rooster at the end of the day. Or, like, literally whatever you're trying to get later on in your combo, you can literally just dump with Fansies, and there you go. And grab it back to your hand, so it doesn't matter. So again, this is why I love this deck. But anyway, generic spell support. So now you have 17 copies of Prank Kids monsters. So, you know, that's pretty nice. Like, if you open this and, let's say, King of the Swamp, search King of the Swamp first. Always have access to your fusion spell first. Like, no matter what. Because if you get Joeled and you had a way to search your fusion spell, you know, that's bad. So, Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is extremely important in this deck because, as I said in the previous Prank Kids video, the thing about Prank Kids is that the inherent flaw of the deck is you always need a combination of 3 cards in order for the deck to work. Either 2 Prank Kids and a fusion spell, or a Prank Kids Pranks, a Prank Kids monster to summon, and a Prank Kids card to discard for you to go into a link. If you cannot fusion summon, or if you cannot link summon, you are not able to do what it is you're trying to do. And that is what Instant Fusion offers, except in 2 cards instead of 3, because you don't need a card to discard for pranks. So that's why that card is incredibly important. Anyway, we got some hand traps. These are the only ones we're playing. 3 Ash, that's all we got space for. This is a 43 card deck. But it doesn't really matter because you're going through the deck so hard and so fast. Like, by turn, like, 2, your deck is, like, super thin. But, you know, the Ash is still good. So, obviously. Hold on, driver. Back once again, guys. Too much interference going on. But anyway, that's it for the hand traps because we only got 3 Ash. But these are just personal attacks of my choice. The 3 Thunder Dragons. These were already in here before we even got Rockies, because you didn't like the other effect monsters were not good in this deck because you couldn't trigger them without playing cards like Gold Sark, and that was just like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, you know, we just played these because this will, you know, automatically, you know, whew, hold on, driver. Amazing, isn't it, how many times we get interrupted in one video? But anyway, we just played these because it made Colossus live and Fansies was a Thunder. But now that we got Rockies, now you can actually play the other Thunder Dragon cards. We're playing a very, very small condensed package. 1, 1, 1, and 1. This is all you need. This is literally all you need. Thunder Dragon Fusion is just good in general because you can go into your Battle Butler, and you can also go into your Titan, because we're playing that too. So that's it for the entire main deck. Extra deck needs, of course, we got your Rockets. I don't know if this is the best card in the entire deck or if it's the Rooster, but I'm pretty sure they're tied. But Weather Washer and Battle Butler for your to round off your fusions. This card is honestly, like, really freaking strong. Like, people really underestimate the power of Weather Washer on the opponent's turn. A lot of people, yeah, they go for Battle Butler, but this card, man, just the amount of card advantage it can just generate for no reason. Especially when you already went first and you have, like, a Bow Wow, a Toad, and a Colossus over here. You use a Toad negate and use Fusion for Weather Watcher, summon 2 monsters, affect during the end phase tribute you summon 2 more monsters. It's just, it's a stupid how much card advantage that one card just gives you. It's insane. Like I find myself going into that a lot more than Battle Butler purely for the card advantage. And then I'll just generate even more on the next turn. But anyway, links, we got the Rooster and the Bow Wow. And the Roaring Rooster. Unfortunately, this can only be link summoned, so I can't just special this with the fusion. Otherwise, that'd be too good. This card obviously gets around Droll in tandem with Fansies. So that's where that comes in. But next we got the support extra deck monsters. We got your Colossus and your Titan, or your, I still gotta call it Super Bolt though. But anyway, turn 1, now that we have Rockies, you are consistently able to put up Bow Wow, Toad with Colossus like in the other zone. And it's pretty stupid. It's pretty strong lock. And then you're going to still have a set fusion card to go into your fusion anyway after you use your Toad negate and all that greatness. So anyway, now we're going to round off our extra deck with our generic links. A Cerberus, a Phoenix, a Unicorn, and a Borosword Dragon. Again, this was the build before YCS Milan, and Borosword was always my go-to over Borreload, but Borreload was in my side deck already, so it didn't really matter, but it might move its way into the main deck because I found out just how good it is against the Thunder Dragon matchup. But speaking of side deck, that's where we're headed to next. Borreload Dragon is in our side deck, along with some Twin Twisters and a couple of Mind Controls, because, well, Mind Control is just pretty good. Go figure. Stealing monsters for no reason, using monster effects of the monsters you stole, why not? It makes it easier against the Thunder Dragon matchup too. More hand traps, we got Ghost Ogres. Ghost Ogre is, I feel like I should be main decking this over Ash Blossom, honestly, because I know Ash is good against so many things, but Ogre is just does so much more damage against certain matchups. Like, if you Ghost Ogre a multi-roll, that's huge. If you Ghost Ogre a somebody's protocol or their spoofing, that's huge. Like, there's so many really good, impactful cards that you can sit here and hit with Ghost Ogre and it actually matters. Anyway, 3 Drolls. Again, I do have the 3rd Droll, but I sat there and left it at home. Again, somebody was borrowing 2 of my Ogres. Super, these are secrets, and 2 of my Drolls, and I got them back, but I left the other ones at home. But I didn't want to wait too long before I made this video, because I know YCS Milan concluded a few days ago. And last but not least, we got 3 copies of Dango Sekka. I also have these, but they're also at home. So, yeah, there's that. So, you don't really need your normal summon in this deck. In fact, before Rockies, I was main decking 3 copies of a Phantom Sky Blaster, and that was insane, and all that. So, yeah, your normal summon isn't really too important, and so you really need to put that back row on lockdown. Now, there is something I want to go ahead and mention right away. If you do not have, the money to access, your Thunder Dragon stuff, your Colossus and all that stuff, because I know some people are going to ask, oh, what would you replace for these? Well, there's a pretty neat tech that I would play, and that is Ancient Leaf. I don't like Pot of Desires because if you are forced into a grind game, you're going to need every last Prank Kids monster available to you. And that's, hold on, driver. Yeah, so I know the YCS Milan winner did play Desires, but, if he was forced into a grind game against Sky Strikers, and let's say, it's just the principle that's just like, banishing 1 copy of your Prank Kids is okay, but if you banish 2 copies of a singular one, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it can really affect your long game and all that. So I would play Ancient Leaf if you don't have the funds for this. And for those of you who don't know what Ancient Leaf does, if your life points are at 9,000 or higher, you pay 2,000 life points and you just draw 2 cards. Now, If you can, any way, shape, or form, play Yu-Gi-Oh! With this deck, you are going to have 9,000 life points right off the bat. Why? Because of this card right here. Prank Kids Dropsies, you boost your life points by 1,000, and some of the Prank Kids from the deck. So 9 times out of 10, that Ancient Leaf is going to be live. You get a free +1. You don't have to play Light as Sekka or Sekka's Light because you need to play fusion spells, and you don't want to banish multiple copies of your Prank Kids either with Desires. So that gives you another option for those of you who want a more budget alternative of if you can't afford Thunder Dragon cards. Ancient Leaf is fantastic. I've tested it, I've tried it, I've resolved it so many times, and it's just, the free +1 is just awesome. So that's it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below regarding this deck. Again, I like this deck because it doesn't lose to hand traps, which is really important. It doesn't lose to hand traps. I don't know what you could actually side against this deck to kill it. Maybe Floodgates, maybe things like Abyss Dweller. Yeah, Abyss Dweller or Necro Valley, like something that just shuts down the graveyard may be the way to go if you really want to know how to shut the deck down to stop all the card advantage. So that's just a little tidbit from me, but let me know what you guys' thoughts are. What do you think about, you know, the text and all that stuff? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. So thank you guys very much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.